Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make today are sugarless or sugar-free chocolate chip muffins. Now, this recipe I think is a good one, but if you're looking for, sugar recipes in muffins and every kind of cranberry and chocolate chip and chocolate and whatever, I have many regular recipe videos on my channel. This particular chocolate chip muffin will not replace a sugared muffin. I will tell you that right off the bat. For people though that have restricted diets or don't prefer to have sugar, what we're doing is to sweeten the muffins, we're using applesauce. Now I use the unsweetened applesauce. If you want to go ahead and use the sweetened, feel free. But again, I'm keeping this a sugarless or sugar-free. Yet of course carbs are coming from your flour, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? Now I'm also using sugarless and sugar-free chocolate chip morsels. Again, it wouldn't be sugar-free anymore, but could you replace them with regular chocolate chips? Of course you could. But again, I'm using the sugar-free, okay? Now, what else do I want to tell you? Other than to get started, you don't need your stand-up mixer. Whether you do have one or don't have one or don't want to use it, you can use a hand mixer. But I find for the videos, the stand works a lot quicker and faster for the video. So let's get started. Now, I no longer put the ingredient list below the video, and I'm sorry about that. But hopefully I'm going to go slowly enough, clearly enough that you can jot down the ingredients, okay? So let's start off with 1 egg that's been at room temperature. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons of oil. Now you decide what type of oil that you think is best. I'm not going to go into that debate. So use 2 tablespoons of oil. And we're going to be using 1.5 cups, I'm using, of the unsweetened applesauce. And I think that's going to come out pretty easy here. So, no, I guess I'm going to need my spatula after all. Okay. That was 1.5 cups of the unsweetened applesauce. And that, that can be any brand, a national brand or a generic brand, whatever that you like. The next thing we're going to do now is we're just going to turn the mixer on. I'm going to warn you about the sound. And we're just going to combine these. And it's only going to take us a couple minutes, not even that. Now, once you blend all those ingredients together, we're now going to work on our dry, okay? So, I'm looking for my little whisk here. Okay. We're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. That was 3/4 of a teaspoon. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now I know probably someone will write and say, did you say really 2? That sounds a lot. Well, it is, and they will turn out great. So 2 teaspoons. The next thing we're going to put in is a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now if you like cinnamon and you like a little more, go ahead and put 1.25 to this. But 1 for me, I like cinnamon a lot. And it just, I think it's a good blend. But again, you want to use a little bit more, feel free, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're just going to blend the wet and dry together. So I'll warn you about the sound. about this is that you don't have to, you know, beat it for a long time. You just want to bring it together because you don't want these muffins to become tough or dense or heavy. And if you notice, I just raised my speed up a little bit just so that I could complete it, but just till they're combined. Now we're going to put the chocolate unsweetened or sugar-free or sugarless chocolate chips in. Now you can fold them in by hand. I know many will be concerned that it might break them up and they'll lose their integrity, but for me, they really don't. I do it on low, and it just distributes them, I think, very evenly. Okay. Now, I know that someone might write and ask, can I put nuts in this? Absolutely. If you want to go ahead and put half a cup of your favorite chopped nuts, maybe it's walnuts, maybe it's pecans, you know, feel free. I'm not putting the nuts in because the person that's going to be getting these muffins cannot eat nuts. So, but they are delicious with nuts. Now I'm just going to combine everything. Make sure to get to the bottom where that paddle sometimes just doesn't make it. And I'm going to show you what the batter looks like. Now, being that I said they're not going to taste like a sugar muffin, I will tell you that if you want it to be sweeter, then use whatever sweetener that you like to use, whether, you know, it's, you know, Equal or Splenda or Sweet and Low or whatever brand. And you can put, I usually put it about equivalent to about 10 teaspoons of artificial sweetener. I use the packets, if you know what I mean by the packets, okay? And I find that it can sweeten them up again. But again, the person that's getting these that I'm baking for today can't really have any artificial sweeteners. I'm just suggesting that in case you try this recipe and you say, gee, you know, I wish it was just a little bit sweeter. You know, I'm making that as a suggestion, okay? All right, next thing is we want to talk about a pan. You need a cupcake pan. I will tell you, I think the best results are to lightly spray your pan. But I'm going to use papers today. Now, the papers do work, but you got to be kind of patient in peeling them off. So it's really, I think, easier, put it that way, if you go ahead and you spray your pans. Now you're going to get 12 muffins out of this, okay? And I'm just using my scoop to make it a little easier than spooning it in, okay? And I would say it looks like you're filling them up anywhere to about a half to 2/3. It really depends, because you know, when you put nuts in and whatever, I always think I get a little bit smaller amount in per paper, okay? But you get the idea, okay? And these are about, mine going in right now are about half. Fill it to half. I generally get 12. Maybe that's a better way to put it, that you know that as you're putting it in, use it all up and you can get 12 muffins out of it. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to put this in a preheated oven, and you're going to preheat it at 375, and they could take anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes. But as you know, all our ovens set up so differently, so it might come up faster than that. Mine, I start checking mine about 16, 17 minutes, that kind of thing. But the range is 20 to 25 at 375 for 12 of the sugar-free or unsweetened chocolate chip muffins. I want to wash my hands quickly because I was working with raw egg. And I'd like to show you what they look like when they're baked up. And this is how they will turn out. They'll have a nice top to them, nice and tall. They will be more pale or lightest brown on the top, okay? And the chocolate chips are really plentiful, and I hope I mentioned that. If I didn't, I'm really sorry. 3/4 of a cup of the unsweetened chocolate chips morsels that I put in. If you think that's too much, break it down to a 1/2 cup. But I like that every time somebody takes a bite into the muffin, they're going to get these chocolate chips in it. So 3/4 of a cup, if I failed to mention it earlier, okay? And these I did bake in the paper, but again, I want to warn you, they do take patience to get them out. Now I want to get a knife here and just cut it in half, okay, to show you. You're going to have, as you can see, all those beautiful chocolate chips in there. And they, you know, this muffin is fantastic, warm out of the oven. You want to go ahead and freeze them. You can freeze them. I have froze mine up to about 3 months, that type of thing. And then I actually put them in the microwave just to warm them a little bit, or just if you have them frozen, let them sit out on the counter till they unthaw. But they are very, they're delicious, these muffins. And what's nice again, the sweetness is coming from the applesauce, okay? So you have a recipe here that you can kind of tweak and change it up a little bit depending how you want to make it. But it's easy, it's quick, and it's fast, and I think it's very good. So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake today. I want to remind you that my videos are only placed on YouTube. So if you're watching them somewhere else, well, somebody's taken my work. And you know what? I'm not alone on that, that's for sure. But that's one of the reasons I no longer give the description of the recipe. It's just not worth the time anymore. It's so frustrating because I always tell people, if you got a question, you got a comment, leave a comment, write to me. I will answer you in a timely fashion. I'll do my best. But I see my work on other sites and I can't answer you, and it's so frustrating. So I want it just as a reminder to tell you, please watch me on YouTube. And please, if you do watch me on YouTube and you do write a question or a comment, I'm going to get it and I'm going to answer. So thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake again on YouTube. Give the sugar-free or sugarless chocolate chip muffins a try. I think you're going to like them. Thanks again for watching. Be safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.